The room was quiet, too quiet. For 15 long years the human had shared her bed. Every night he lay beside her, eyes closing, body sinking into the warmth of the sheets. And every morning he woke up with no memory of what happened in the dark hours. He thought it was ordinary sleep. She knew better. The alien girl watched him as he rested, her glowing eyes shimmering faintly in the dim light. She had a secret so deep that she had never dared to tell him. Not once in all those years. Each night, when the world outside slept, she did something to him. Something that bound his life to hers. Her fingers hovered above his chest, trembling. The human's breathing was slow, calm, innocent. He had no idea how many nights she had leaned over him like this, whispering words he could never hear, touching him in ways that left no memory dot. But tonight felt different. Tonight she was restless. Her heart raced as if something inside her had decided the truth could no longer stay hidden. The human stirred in his sleep. He turned, mumbling softly, but never waking. The alien girl froze. For a second, she thought, he had caught her. But then his breathing deepened again, and silence returned. She let out a shaky breath. Her hands glowed faintly now, the energy she had kept locked inside for so many years, ready to flow into him once again. Without it, he would never have survived this long. But he never knew that. To him, she was just the strange companion who offered him her bed, who never let him sleep alone. Every morning, he asked the same questions. Why do I feel so tired? Why do I dream of voices? Why does my skin feel warm when I wake up? And every morning, she gave him the same answer. You're imagining it, human. Go back to your day. But deep inside, she knew the lies would not last forever. The night grew heavier. A cold wind pressed against the windows, making them shiver. Shadows stretched across the walls, twisting in strange shapes, as if the darkness itself wanted to crawl closer. The human shifted again. His hand brushed against hers in his sleep. For a moment, she felt warmth spread through her chest. His touch, so simple, so unaware, made her heart ache with a feeling she never wanted to admit. She pulled her hand back quickly, almost guilty. He must never know what she felt. If he discovered what she did each night, if he realized why he was still alive after all these years, he might hate her, or worse, he might leave. But tonight she could not resist. She leaned closer, her lips just inches from his ear. Human, she whispered, so soft that not even the air seemed to catch her words. His body shivered, though he was still asleep. She closed her eyes, whispering again in her alien tongue. Strange syllables filled the room, heavy with power. Her hands glowed brighter now, pressing lightly against his chest. The bed beneath them hummed faintly. As if alive, a surge of energy passed from her into him. His body arched slightly, breath-catching, though his eyes stayed closed. The marks returned, faint glowing lines across his skin, crawling like gentle fire before fading into nothingness. She pulled back quickly, trembling. Each night, she told herself it would be the last. Each night, she swore she would stop. But each night, she did it again, because without her, he would die. The truth was simple. He thought she had saved him once long ago. But in reality, she had been saving him every single night for 15 years. And now, the secret was pressing against her chest, burning to be revealed. She looked at him, at his peaceful face, his closed eyes. The human who trusted her enough to share her bed. The human who never asked for more than warmth. The human who did not know that his life belonged to her. Her lips trembled as she whispered to herself, maybe tomorrow I will tell him. Maybe tomorrow he will finally know what I do. But even as she said it, she knew tomorrow would bring fear, danger, and choices she had avoided for too long. Because tonight was not just another night. Tonight, something was changing. The air in the room grew heavier, almost electric. Outside, A low rumble echoed across the sky. Thunder or something else? She didn't know. But she felt it. The universe itself was moving. And soon, the human beside her would no longer sleep through the truth. Her glowing eyes softened as she whispered, "One last time, sleep, human. Tomorrow, everything begins." And with that, she pressed her forehead against his eyes, closing, as the bed of secrets carried them into another night. The human woke with a start. His chest felt heavy, his skin warm as if fire had touched it. For a moment he thought he had been running in his sleep. Sweat glistened on his forehead. He rubbed his eyes, trying to shake off the strange dream still clinging to him. It wasn't the first time. For weeks, maybe months, his dreams had been growing stranger. He saw a shadow standing over him. He heard voices whispering in a language he did not know, voices that seemed close enough to breathe into his ear. Sometimes he felt hands on him, gentle, soft, but burning with energy. And always when he woke, the memories slipped away. But this morning, something remained. He pulled up the sleeve of his shirt, and his eyes widened. There, on his skin, faint glowing lines shimmered like fading fire. They spread across his arm in patterns he could not understand, glowing for only a second before vanishing into his flesh. His heart raced. He pressed his fingers against the spot, but there was nothing, no wound, no scar, no sign of what he had seen. He turned to the alien girl beside him. She was awake, watching him quietly, her eyes unreadable. "You see them too, don't you?" he asked. His voice shook. For a moment, she said nothing. Then she smiled, calm and mysterious as always. "Dreams are just dreams, human. You worry too much." But he didn't believe her. He remembered how, every morning for the last 15 years, he asked the same thing. Why do I feel like I'm losing something in the night? Why do I wake with warmth on my skin? Why do my dreams feel real? And every morning, she gave the same answer. Dreams are just dreams. He clenched his fists. This time felt different. The images in his head refused to fade. A room filled with light. A voice calling his name. Her face closer than ever before, her lips whispering words he couldn't catch. Her glowing hands pressed against his chest, and the burning sensation spreading through him like fire and ice together. His breath grew heavy, his heart pounded. He remembered her lips almost touching his ear, whispering a single word. He couldn't recall the sound, but he knew it had power. He looked at her again. "You're hiding something." She tilted her head, her hair falling across her glowing eyes. Her smile remained, but it was softer now, almost sad. "And if I am human, would you want to know the truth?" Her words cut deeper than he expected. He wanted to answer, but the weight of her question kept him silent. That night, he made a decision. He would not let sleep take him so easily. He would fight it, keep his eyes open, and finally see what she did when he closed his. The night returned, quiet and heavy. He lay in the bed, pretending to relax, but every muscle in his body was tense. The alien girl sat beside him, as always, watching with a calm expression. She stroked his arm gently, humming in a low voice. The sound like a lullaby that wrapped around him. His eyes grew heavier. His body betrayed him. "No," he whispered, trying to fight. But sleep was stronger. Darkness pulled him under, and once again, the dreams began. This time, he saw more. He saw her eyes blazing with light, her hands glowing as she leaned over him. He felt the bed beneath them tremble, alive with something ancient. Symbols crawled across the walls, alive and shifting, as though the room itself was breathing. Then he heard her voice clear, sharp, and filled with power. She spoke his name. Not in his tongue, but in hers. He gasped in the dream, and his eyes snapped open, half awake, half asleep. For a moment, he saw her, truly saw her. Not just the girl who shared his bed, but something greater, something alien. And terrifyingly beautiful. Her head turned sharply. Their eyes locked. He wasn't supposed to see this. Not yet. The dream shattered. He woke with a scream, chest burning, his hands clutching the sheets. She was there beside him, calm as always, her glowing eyes steady on his. "Sleep, human," she whispered, touching his forehead. "You're not ready to remember." His eyelids grew heavy again, against his will. Darkness took him, but in his heart, the truth was rising. He was beginning to remember. The night pressed down heavy like a blanket of silence. The human lay awake, staring at the ceiling. His body begged for rest, but his mind refused. He remembered the glowing lines on his skin, her voice in his dream, the way she looked at him as if she had done something forbidden. He could not let it go. Beside him, the alien girl shifted quietly, her glowing eyes half closed. She thought he was asleep. That was her mistake. He stayed still, breathing slow, pretending to drift. But his ears strained to catch every sound. Then it began. A whisper. Soft, like a secret slipping into the air. Her voice low, steady, speaking. Words that did not belong to his world. Strange syllables, smooth yet sharp, humming with hidden power. His heart thumped. Each word touched him like invisible fingers running across his skin. The whispers pulled him in, tugging at the edges of his thoughts. He almost answered, though he did not know the language. Her hand hovered above his chest. He felt warmth spread across him, burning and soothing at the same time. His muscles loosened, his eyelids trembled. "Sleep deeper," she whispered. Her voice was sweet, but beneath it, there was command. He forced himself to resist. He bit down on his lip until he tasted blood, just to stay awake. Her other hand brushed his cheek. "You dream of me, don't you, human? Every night. And every night you forget." His chest rose sharply. He wanted to open his eyes, to look at her, to ask why. But he stayed still, letting the whispers flow over him like waves. She leaned closer, her lips almost touching his ear. 15 years, I've kept you. 15 years, you've slept beside me, and yet you never remember. Tonight, maybe you will." A chill raced down his spine. He had never heard her speak like this before. There was hunger in her tone. Need, and something else he couldn't name. The bed itself seemed alive, humming faintly as her whispers grew faster. The air thickened, heavy with an energy that made it hard to breathe. His hand twitched. He almost gave himself away. But then her fingers pressed harder against his chest. A glow lit the room, faint but unmistakable. He saw it through his eyelids. Light spreading across his body in strange shapes, marks crawling and vanishing like fireflies. His mind screamed questions. "What are you doing to me? Why don't you let me remember? What happens in the dark?" And then she spoke his name. Not as she usually did. Not the way humans spoke it. But in her language, drawn out, filled with meaning. It shook him to the core. His eyes snapped open before he could stop himself. For a heartbeat, he saw her. Truly saw her. Her face hovered inches above his. Her eyes glowed like twin stars. Her lips curved in a smile both tender and dangerous. The marks on his skin blazed brightly, and her hands shone as if made of fire. She froze. Their eyes locked. He was awake. The whispers cut off instantly. Silence crashed into the room. For a long second, neither of them moved. He lay there, chest burning, body trembling. She hovered above him, glowing, otherworldly, caught between fear and longing. Finally she spoke, her voice low and sharp. "You weren't supposed to see this." The human swallowed hard, his throat dry. His voice came out rough but steady. "Then tell me what you've been doing to me for 15 years. She pulled back slightly, her glow dimming. For the first time, her calm mask broke. Fear flickered across her face. Her lips parted, whispering just 3 words. "If I tell, you'll never leave this bed again." The room went cold. His heart pounded. He didn't know if her words were a promise or a warning, but he knew one thing. The whispers in the dark were no longer just dreams. They were real. The bed was silent, but the silence was heavy like a storm waiting to break. The human sat up slowly, still breathing fast. His chest burned where her glowing hands had been only moments before. He could still feel the warmth, pulsing under his skin like a second heartbeat. She stood at the edge of the bed now, her glowing eyes dimmed, her face unreadable. For the first time she looked afraid. You weren't supposed to wake, she whispered. He clenched the sheets in his fists. I saw it. I saw you. I'm not dreaming anymore. Her lips trembled. She turned her face away, as if ashamed. But the glow under her skin betrayed her. It shimmered faintly, even as she tried to hide it. What are you? He asked. His voice was low, heavy with both fear and anger. And what have you been doing to me, every night? For a long time she didn't answer. The only sound was the wind rattling against the windows and his own heartbeat pounding in his ears. Then finally, she moved. Slowly, carefully, she pulled the blanket back from the bed. The human froze. Beneath the sheets, the mattress was not a mattress at all. Strange patterns glowed faintly in the fabric, alive with shifting light. Symbols curled and twisted like veins of fire, running in circles around the place where he slept. The entire bed seemed to breathe, humming softly as if it had a pulse of its own. He stared wide-eyed. What is this? Her glowing hand traced one of the symbols. The light followed her touch, spreading like ripples in water. She spoke softly, as if confessing to a crime. This bed. It is not what you think. It is alive. It is a bond between us. Every night I use it to keep you here, to keep you alive. His breath caught. Alive? What do you mean? She lifted her gaze to his. For the first time, her mask of calm was gone. Her eyes shone not just with alien light, but with sorrow. You should have died 15 years ago. The words hit him like a blade. He stared at her, shaking his head. That's not possible. I'm here. I'm alive because of me, not you. Her voice hardened. No, you breathe because I give you my breath. You wake because I carry you. Through the night, every scar, every sickness, every wound. I have taken it into myself so you could stay. His stomach turned, the dreams, the warmth, the glowing marks on his skin. Suddenly, it all made sense. He whispered, almost afraid to ask, Why? She stepped closer. Her voice softened again, trembling. Because I couldn't let you go. The air between them thickened. He felt both fear and something else, something he didn't want to admit. His eyes flicked back to the glowing bed. The sheet seemed to pulse with every word she spoke. He realized now it wasn't just a bed, it was a prison. A sanctuary. A secret. And for 15 years, he had been sleeping inside it. His hands shook. You've been using me. Keeping me here like some experiment. Her voice sharpened, almost desperate. No. Not using, saving, protecting. If I hadn't, you would be dust, forgotten by time. You owe your life to this bed, and to me. Her words cut through him, leaving silence behind. For a moment, neither of them moved. He stared at her, at the glowing truth beneath the sheets. His mind screamed to run, but his heart ached to believe her. She stepped closer, her eyes glistening, her voice dropping to a whisper. Now you know, human, but knowing comes with a price. If you stay, you must stay forever. The bed glowed brighter, as if waiting for his answer. His chest rose and fell sharply. His lips parted, but no words came out, because deep inside, he already knew his life would never be the same again. The human could not move. The bed beneath him glowed faintly, its strange symbols alive like veins of fire. His heart pounded as the alien girl stood over him, her hands trembling though her eyes still glowed with that same otherworldly light. She had told him too much already, but he could feel it. There was more. Finally, he found his voice. Why me? His words cracked, raw and desperate. Out of everyone, why keep me alive? Her lips parted, but no sound came at first. She looked away, as though the question hurt more than anything he had asked before. Her glowing fingers twisted together, nervous in a way he had never seen. You were never supposed to be here, she whispered. Her voice shook, heavy with memory. 15 years ago, you were nothing but a broken body. You should have died that night. I should have left you. My kind, they told me to. They told me to let nature claim you, but I couldn't. The human's chest tightened. His mind struggled to hold her words. So you saved me. Her head snapped toward him, her voice sharp, almost angry. No, not saved, bound. He froze. She took a slow step forward, the glow of the bed climbing higher with her movement. Every night, I take your pain into me. Every wound you've ever suffered, every sickness, every weakness, it passes into me while you sleep. And in return, I give you my strength, my life, my breath. That is why you live. He stared at her, horrified, and yet drawn closer. That's impossible. She let out a bitter laugh, though tears glistened at the edges of her glowing eyes. Impossible? Look at your body, human. 15 years, and you haven't aged a day. 15 years, and you've never felt the hand of death. That is my doing, my curse, my choice. His breathing turned ragged. The room felt smaller, the air heavier. Every piece of his life suddenly twisted into a new shape. Every strange dream, every scar that vanished, every morning that felt unreal. He whispered, almost afraid of the answer. Why would you do that, for me? Her silence stretched long. The bed hummed beneath them, glowing brighter, almost urging her to speak. And then she broke. Her voice cracked, soft and trembling. Because I loved you. The words hit him harder than any truth before. She pressed her hands to her chest as if the confession burned. From the first night I found you, I could not let go. I told myself it was mercy. I told myself it was duty. But the truth is that I wanted you near me. I wanted you in my bed, beside me, always. Even if you never remembered. Even if you never knew. The human's throat tightened. His fists clenched in the glowing sheets. Her eyes shimmered as she stepped closer. Every night, I whispered to you. Every night I touched you, hoping you would hear me in your dreams. Hoping one day you would look at me not as a stranger, but as the one who kept you alive. Her voice lowered, almost breaking into a plea. And now you know, now you see me as I am. So tell me, human, do you hate me for it? The question hung in the air like a blade. His mind screamed with conflict. She had lied, yes. She had trapped him, yes. But her words cut deeper. Her voice carried a pain that was real. He could see it in her trembling form, in the way her glow flickered. Like a dying flame, he wanted to speak, to curse her, to thank her, to hold her, but no words came. And in that silence, she stepped even closer, her lips trembling as she whispered one last truth. If you leave me now, your life will end before morning. The room fell still. The glow of the bed brightened. Symbols spiraling wildly around them, alive with tension. The human's breath hitched. He had no answer. Not yet. But one thing was certain. He could no longer pretend this was just a bed. Or just a girl. The room glowed faintly, the bed alive. Beneath them, humming like a heartbeat. The human sat frozen, her confession echoing in his mind. If you leave me now, your life will end before morning. His chest rose and fell sharply. His fists clenched in the glowing sheets. Was it a threat or the truth? The alien girl stood across from him, her glowing eyes fixed on his face. She looked powerful and fragile all at once. Her hands trembled as though she feared his answer more than anything in the universe. He swallowed hard. His voice cracked. "You mean to say, I have no life without you?" Her lips trembled. She nodded. "That is the truth." His heart pounded. 15 years. 15 years of dreams he could not remember, of warmth he did not understand, of mornings that felt borrowed. He wanted to scream at her, to demand why she had never told him. But at the same time, he remembered her words. "I loved you." He shook his head. "You lied to me. Every day, every night, you let me live a life built on secrets." Her glowing eyes softened with pain. She stepped closer, her voice trembling. "I lied because I was afraid. If I told you the truth, you would have left me, and if you left, you would have died. What choice did I have, human? To save you or to lose you forever?" The bed pulsed brighter, responding to their voices. Strange symbols curled across the sheets, wrapping around his legs, his arms, like chains made of light. He felt trapped. Not by the bed, but by her, by the truth. "What are you asking of me?" He whispered. She took a deep breath, her chest rising, her glowing skin trembling. Then she whispered, "Stay. Stay with me. Not because the bed holds you, but because you choose it. Because you choose me." His stomach twisted. The weight of her words crushed him. If he said no, if he tried to run, he would never see another sunrise. If he said yes, he would belong to her forever. The silence stretched, heavy and suffocating. Her voice broke it, soft and pleading. "I have given you my life for 15 years. Now give me yours. Not half of it, not a piece, all of it." His chest burned. He looked into her glowing eyes, searching for lies. But all he saw was fear. And love. His thoughts screamed. She trapped me. She used me. His heart whispered, "She saved me. She loves me." He could not tell which voice was stronger. The bed glowed brighter, the light crawling higher, wrapping around his chest now, pressing into his skin. He gasped, feeling it squeeze like a heartbeat inside his own. She reached out, her hand trembling. "Choose, human. Choose me. Or choose death." His lips parted. His breath shook. The choice lay before him like a blade sharp, merciless. Final. And for the first time in 15 years, he realized the truth. He had never been free. The real question was not if he would stay. It was, why? The room pulsed with light, brighter than ever before. The bed beneath them no longer looked like a bed. It was alive, breathing, glowing, its symbols dancing like fire across the sheets. The air hummed, thick with energy, almost painful to breathe. The human sat trembling, his chest rising fast. His lips were dry, his mind torn apart by her words. 15 years of lies, of dreams stolen, of nights erased. All for this moment. The alien girl stood before him, her body glowing, her eyes burning like stars. For the first time, she wasn't hiding. No more whispers. No more half-truths. "You wanted to know everything," she said softly, her voice echoing in the humming air. "Tonight I will show you." He opened his mouth to speak, but the words died in his throat. The glow of the bed surged, wrapping around him, pulling him down into the sheets. The symbols rose from the fabric, swirling like chains of light, binding his arms and chest. His breath caught. "What are you doing?" "Not hurting you," she whispered, stepping closer, her hand glowing as it touched his cheek. "Revealing you." The world around him shattered. In a blink, the room was gone. He gasped as he floated in darkness, weightless, the sheets pulling him into a place beyond reality. Stars burned above him, endless and close. Strange shapes swirled, alive and alien. Voices filled the air, deep, ancient, powerful, chanting the same words he had heard in his dreams. And then he saw her, not the girl who lay beside him every night, not the gentle figure with quiet whispers, but her true form, vast, radiant, terrifyingly beautiful. Her body shimmered with energy, her hair a river of light, her eyes burning suns. She hovered before him, and yet her voice was still hers. Still. Soft. Still trembling. This is what I am. This is what you have been sharing your bed with for 15 years. His heart raced, torn between fear and awe. You're not human. She smiled sadly. No, but I bound myself to you. To your fragile body. To your weak heart. Because I loved you, human. And because I could not let death take you. The stars around them pulsed. The voices grew louder. The light wrapped around his chest, burning, changing, rewriting him. He gasped, pain and warmth flooding his body. The glowing marks blazed across his skin, brighter than ever before. He felt his breath deepen, his heart pound stronger. For the first time, he realized he wasn't just alive. He was something more. Her hand cupped his face. Tonight I give you everything. No more forgetting. No more lies. From this moment, you are bound to me forever. His throat tightened. Forever. She leaned closer, her glow surrounding him completely, her lips near his ear. Yes. Share my bed another night, and you will never leave it again. Not as a man, but as mine. His breath shook. His heart thundered. Fear, desire, confusion all tangled in him. The glow dimmed slightly, her voice softer now. So tell me, human, after all these years, after everything I have done, will you stay with me? Or will you walk away and let death claim what I've been protecting? The silence was crushing. The bed's light pulsed, waiting for his answer. His body trembled under her touch. And then he looked into her glowing eyes, knowing the choice was his alone. The scene froze on that moment. The question burned in the air, unanswered. Final suspense cliffhanger for audience. Will he choose life with her, or death without her? Would you stay in her bed forever, or try to escape?